Hello, welcome. So today I understand it's totally ironic that we're doing a live lesson video on how to warm up without a video. um, but I hope the intention is clear that I want to set you up today to be able to warm up your voice when you don't have access to a warm up video or you don't have time, you don't have Wi Fi, you don't have anything downloaded. So here goes. I'm going to give you just kind of some principles and a little bit of an overview. Um, so it could be a good idea if you don't have one. It could be a good idea to have some app on your phone to get pitches. Not that you're going to be playing every pitch, but just a reference pitch. So you could have a tuner app or you could have a keyboard app. That could be helpful. Why? It might be nice to know, for example, if you're warming up for a specific song and there is a particular high note that you want to warm up to, that's where a tuner or piano app could come in. So, for example, if you need to sing a C5, that you have that reference available for you and you make sure, ooh, that you're hitting that pitch and that you're going even past that pitch. So again, you wouldn't be playing every single, pitch as you warm up, but you at least are making sure, okay, did I hit that high note that I'm about to sing in a song? Good. Okay. Um, so I want to lead you through two types of warm ups, one being what I would call just a bare bones warm up, and then two more in depth. So the bare bones warm up will have 4 parts to it, and you can kind of keep these in your head. One being something semi closed or semi occluded. I have a straw here, so we could do some straw singing for that. Or a lip trill. I'll write these 4 parts in the chat as well. It's less important today that I have piano working, but we'll make sure. Hi, Kevin. Do we have piano that you can hear? If so, good. If not, that's actually okay because the whole point is that we don't have a video to go along with. So I'm going to write in the chat, bare bones. It's going to be SOVT. Head voice, mix, and agility, typically within a wider range. So that's if you have just a couple minutes, you're, on the way to the gig or you're, backstage. And then someone's asking, can you please name specifically any pitch or tuner apps? Yes, I can. I actually compiled a list of kind of resources for beginners. So let me find that for you. And Florista said, piano is working. Thank you so much. Slash resources. Oh, I have another idea. Sorry, I'm trying to find this collection of links that I have, and it was hosted on my website, but there we go. Free resources for beginners. Let me grab that link for you. If you just Googled this, it wouldn't come up. It's like hidden on my website. But anyways, there you go. Thank you so much, Gary. Gary says I use Sound Corset. So here's a collection, warm-ups, ear training, vocal health and science, podcasts, song work. So within the ear training section, there's tuner.ninja. That's just a website, not an app. Singing Carrots pitch monitor is a chromatic tuner and keyboard for pitch reference. The Chet app, the Earpeggio app, musictheory.net. So to be honest, within that grouping, there's not a ton of specifically chromatic tuner apps, but I can look that up for you. Chromatic tuner apps. And just to jog my memory. Goodness, there's so many. Chromatic Tuner on Google Play has good ratings. Ins Tuner on the App Store. So anyways, if you just Google, I'm sorry, that's not a super helpful answer, but if you Google Chromatic Tuner app within your App Store, just play with it and see if it makes sense to your brain and if it's helpful. Or just a piano app as well. Again, that's just to get specific pitches if you need them. Okay, so our bare bones warm up would start with something semi-closed and kind of how to guide yourself through this. I would start medium range. So what feels like the middle of your range to you? That doesn't feel too low or too high. Then go to low range, then go to high-ish range. So I'm going to demonstrate this for me, but I want you to try this on your own as well. And again, I'm not playing pitches on the piano. For me personally, I like to start with a slide, something stretchy and, siren-y. So what that might look like, I'm, backstage or about to sing in some capacity, and I just start on a lip trill, medium range, some sort of slide, maybe a 1-5-1 or a 1-8-1 pattern. And then I'll move it up a little bit and a little up and up. And I'll take that as high as is comfortable, but I'm not going to push it right away. So think about your vocal folds. You might have heard this analogy before. Think of your vocal folds or any muscle as, a cold rubber band at first, that if you just pull on that rubber band really quickly, it will break. I'm not saying that your vocal folds are going to break by warming up too quickly, not at all. And I also recognize that your vocal folds are not just muscle. There's muscle involved, of course, but it's, tissue. But the analogy still holds that we're not going to pop right into the splits. And that usually if you try to do that, if you just jump straight into singing as high as you possibly can, normally what happens is your body tenses up. It's simply not ready for that. So rather, you're going to start medium range, go a little bit high, but not too high, and then come back down. So imagine you're warming up that rubber band. You're stretching it out a little bit and then letting it relax, and then a little bit more and letting it relax again. So again, we're in SOVT or semi-closed exercise land. You've gone up a little bit higher, and then now we'll reverse the exercise. Do a 5-1-5 kind of slide and take it down as low as you comfortably can. And again, we're doing this by feel. So you're not going for a specific low note unless your song that you're about to sing requires you to sing a specific low note. So let's put myself in that position. I'm going to sing a Taylor Swift song that goes really low, and I know I need to be able to sing, let's say, an E3. There it is. So this is where I would pull out my phone and make sure that I'm singing down to that pitch, but I'll get there gradually. Have I gotten there yet? There it was. But I'm going to go even lower if I can. Of course, you could go slower than this if you want to. Okay, right there. It's kind of around C3. I'm feeling in my voice that it's no longer comfortable, and it feels like I would be forcing it to continue. So this is what I want you to ask yourself as you're warming yourself up. By feel, ask yourself, am I still reasonably comfortable, or does it feel like to continue, I would have to force it and my technique would start to suffer, or the tone quality would start to suffer, or I would, be tense to continue. Whenever that point is, you back off and you go in the opposite direction. So for me, I'm in this situation, right, where I need to sing a Taylor Swift song that goes down to an E3. I've already warmed down to that note, and now I've continued on. I recognized, ooh, I'm not feeling so good at whatever that pitch was. And since I had my piano here, or, for you, if you have your piano app or your chromatic tuner, that would tell you, okay, C3, now you know, okay, no pressure. I don't need to keep going because I already warmed down to that E3, which was my goal for the song I'm about to sing. Hope that makes sense. So when you reach that point in your voice where you're like, it's not feeling good, not sounding good, let me go in the opposite direction. There's a question perhaps about a lip trill. Let's see, I always have trouble maintaining a lip trill, especially when I go higher in my range. What is the best way to maintain the trill? So I'll answer that question. It could be a matter of needing a little bit more breath intensity. So think about faster air. It could be kind of a muscle or embouchure thing where if you support the cheeks with your fingers a little bit, that can help you maintain the trill. I think very rarely would it be too fast of air, or maybe you're tensing up a little bit and maybe the solution is actually relaxing the muscles a little bit more. But I will say you don't have to maintain the lip trill if it stops working for you. So let's jump back into our warm up and I'll demonstrate. So we've done kind of the medium range. Now we've gone to reasonably low, and now we'll go back high. So kind of go back to your medium range and then walk it up a little bit. And I'll go to that point, I think it's Keegan, where the lip trill stops working for me too. Okay, right around here. Right in that range. I'm feeling a little bit of tension start to creep in my throat. Maybe around there. So the B, F sharp, or C, G. That area. The lip trill is starting to my throat is starting to squeeze up. Now, I don't know, Keegan, if that's the situation for you, if it's a muscle embouchure thing, if it's a breath flow thing, or if it's a pitch thing. So if it's a pitch thing, for me, I don't take the lip trill into my highest pitches because it doesn't work as well for me as an NG. An NG sound. I can carry up higher. It's a small sound, but it's a lot easier for my voice. I don't feel that pressure in my throat. I can feel that the tension has just lifted away. So that might be something that you try is at a certain point, if you've tried different airflow, a little bit more breath pressure, or you've tried the kind of supporting your cheeks thing. If that's not working, abandon ship. You do not have to lip trill into your highest pitches. So it could be you pick up the straw and try straw singing up high, or you try the NG. I really love it for super high. So checking back in, where are we? We're only on step 1 of our bare bones, but if you're doing this by yourself, you're not stopping to talk. You're just gliding around. So we started medium range, we went low, now we've gone high, and we want to open up now into some sort of vowel that feels easy for you in your head voice or falsetto. So you'll start medium range, wee, wee, wee. And I can tell you what pitch that is, but it really doesn't matter because you're doing it with your own voice and feeling what's comfortable for you. So think low head voice. Wee, wee, wee. This is the first singing sound that we've made so far in this warm up that wasn't closed. So that's quite low that I'm starting. Wee, wee, wee. If you care to know the pitches, I'm starting on an E4, going to a B4. But in your own voice, maybe it's coo, 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 or ooh, whatever feels easy. I like this kind of sliding off the top note or falling off because there's no pressure to sustain. There's no pressure to, there's just less pressure. So you're touching the high note, but I even think of it as kind of like throwing a frisbee. I'm sure I got that from another voice teacher, but I can't remember who at this point. But that's kind of your, you're just throwing it out there. It's coming from down low, and you're letting it go. So it's not this reaching, grabbing for a high note. It's just woo. Okay, so that idea, wee, 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 or whatever you want to sing on, and then you would take it a little bit higher. Wee, 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 wee. Why are we doing this? We did the SOVT. Now we're in our falsetto or our head voice to stretch, to find stretch, flexibility, lightness. That's going to be important no matter what song you sing. Even if you're about to sing a song that's like just chest voice and just low, still it's a good idea to give your vocal folds that stretch and the ability to sing lightly. So you're not going into the song with only speaking voice, only heaviness at your disposal. So how high do you take this? Again, you're feeling it out. And when you feel tension, or again, ask yourself, is it going to be forcing things to continue? You back off. And if possible, you gradually come back down. So let me demonstrate for what that would look like in my voice. I'm singing wee, 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 wee. Oh, hopefully we're back. Fingers crossed. So where we left off, yay! Okay, it worked. So where we left off, we've done our SOVT, medium, low, and high. We've done our falsetto or head voice stretch. And now we're going to activate our mix. So if you don't know what works for you for mix voice, I'll recommend the syllable one. And you want to start reasonably low in your chest voice. Let's say an exercise like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And you're taking that up again as high as you semi-comfortably can. I think warming yourself up is a little bit of an advanced thing to do. If I had a true beginning singer who is struggling to match pitch, or who doesn't really understand these different distinctions and sections within their voice, this would be tricky. So if you are beginner and you're not quite sure what you're doing, then I would recommend downloading that warm-up video or download an MP3 version of it so you have a warm-up to pull out of your back pocket. But back into it. So now we're in mix land, reasonably low, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And again, you're going to take that up a little bit at a time. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. As you're building your mix, a few things to keep in mind. One, keep the vowel without letting it spread too much. Because what might happen as you take this up, your tendency might be to pull up chest voice, and one is going to turn into wan. One. And now we're not so much in mix land. Now we're just in, we're going to get shoutier and heavier. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Keep the vowel Number 2, what goes along with that, and I see Sheila is talking about pitch matching. Let's talk in a moment. Second thing to keep in mind that goes along with keeping the vowel is to let your jaw drop. I am guilty of this as well. I think that I'm opening my mouth, and then I look in the mirror and it's like, oh, okay. There was still some room to grow in that area. So let your jaw drop, especially as the pitch rises. If you're stuck, one, not opening your mouth, it is not going to go well for you. One. You need your jaw to be dropping, and you need that vowel to be more open. But think about opening up tall before you open up wide, because if you open up wide, wan, then you can get into shouty territory. Number 3, if you're working on mix, be mindful then of if you have a tendency to flip into head voice. So let's say you go here, one. As a singer who's warming myself up, I need to know that wasn't mix that I did. I flipped into head voice. One. So even though I'm still singing the word one, that doesn't magically make me get into mix mode. I lost it on that second pitch. So if it's important to the song that you're about to sing that you warm up your mix, you would need to know that for yourself. And then again, backtrack, go back down. One. And know what it feels like and sounds like when you are properly mixing. That's why this is a little bit more of an advanced thing to know that. So 1, 2, 3, done. Same as before, you're going to take that exercise up and then back down. So you're stretching out the rubber band and relaxing it again. And our last step for our short, bare bones self warm-up will be something kind of more full range and something a little bit more focused on agility. Because so far, we've not moved our voice very fast. So some of my favorite exercises. Okay. So Rushita is asking how to know the difference if we're using head voice or mixed voice. I would say very quickly, at least in the beginning, your head voice usually is going to lose any sort of connection to that feeling of vibration on your chest. And this gets tricky as you rise up and mix, but try this with me. Say, hey, and you'll feel, if you're just speaking, that is what we call your chest voice. And this is why we call it that, because we feel that sympathetic vibration or sympathetic resonance in our chest. If I go, hey, woo, going from chest voice to head voice or falsetto, woo. Ask yourself, where do you feel vibration, or what does that feel like? What does it sound like? So I think that's kind of number 1, is being able to identify my chest voice and my head voice. And then for mix, sometimes it does take a teacher telling you, hey, you're mixing. That is your mix. Because for some singers, like for me, I was one of those singers where I thought that I was just in chest voice. And I had a teacher point that out. No, you're actually starting to mix there. Even though it feels and sounds like chest voice to you, we can hear that the quality has lightened a bit, has brightened a bit, and you're singing higher than you could in just full chest voice. But I would say that's probably number 1. And hopefully you are feeling that when you're just jumping into head voice, this feeling goes away. And then where are you feeling sensation instead? Then, when you're doing an exercise that is more to blend and help you find your mix, it should feel, or it does for most singers, feel like more of a gradual lifting into maybe your mouth. Maybe some singers feel more sensation in like their mustache area. Um, that it's not going to be such a stark difference of, okay, lots of feeling in my chest and then no feeling in my chest. Maybe there's a little bit. Maybe one 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 one. There's a little bit of that chest vibration still there. Whereas one one one, where I'm, mixing and then flipping into head voice, I can feel that sensation just totally disappear from my chest. Now, is it a good idea to be totally sensation focused? Maybe not, because all of us are different. We have, different bodies, different experiences of our voice and resonance. Um, but without hearing you myself and without having a teacher in front of you saying, oh yes, that sound quality is mix, I think this just is maybe one of the best tools that we have. Another thing you can do, trying to how should I word this? To me, there's a difference in feeling within my throat, like vocal fold wise. I can feel the engagement of mix versus the engagement of head voice. Um, Head voice feels lighter and easier. Mix still requires some connection, some engagement from me. Um, so that, yeah, maybe that's helpful, maybe that's not. But if with the question being, how do you tell the difference between head voice and mix? That's where I would start, is first get comfy and get acquainted with chest voice and head voice, and then both the sensation and the sound. And then when you're working in that middle of your range, when you're starting to sing A flats, A's, B flats, B's, if you're singing in a manner that is not full head voice, that maybe still has a little bit of connection to your chest, a little bit more, oomph, more chest voice quality to the sound, then, that's a good sign that you would be mixing. But yeah, it can be hard without a teacher telling you or confirming for you. Sheila saying, Camille, one of my biggest issues has also been my tongue. It just wants to do its own thing. Then I sound all fogged up. It's true, nothing is automatic in singing. Oh, man. Well, Sheila, I don't know what a good answer to that is. I think that there are some things that feel automatic, and I think if we've practiced something enough, then it becomes at least semi-automatic. Um, I mean, that is kind of the whole point of practicing, is like, uh, yeah, that's kind of a hard question to answer, because I guess for me, it's like I've been singing all of these years, but I would still say that um, most things still require some like intention. Um, yeah. And my mix sounds so high, even though I'm singing in the fourth octave. So, God's will, are you saying that your mix sounds uh too light, like head voice falsetto? Is that what you're saying? Um, okay. I want to jump back back into our warm-up routine. We're on the final step of agility, wide range. So I just want to give you a couple exercises to have in your back pocket. One exercise would be what we might call the 9-tone. Sorry, it's just muscle memory to play the piano. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So have that in your mind as one option. Ooh, or got it. Okay, God's will, like it's really head dominant and thin. Understood. We'll talk about that in a second. So the 9-tone would be one. You can sing this on a syllable, on a vowel. You could go back to an SOVT. Another kind of agility wide range exercise to have in your back pocket would be the 1.5 octave scale. So the or ba 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 ba. Both of these, I think, they cover some ground. They get your voice moving through different registers quickly, and that can be a benefit sometimes in that you're not thinking about it. Like you're sort of forcing your voice to make those quick changes. Last type of exercise that might fall under the agility category would be something kind of riff like ooh. Depending on what type of song you're about to sing, you might want to choose something that has that more riff like quality. So again, the principle is you start middle of your range, you take it comfortably high, comfortably low, land back in the middle. Whatever you decide to do, land kind of back in your like normal speaking voice if you can. Or if you're literally right about to step on stage, you might end your warm up with whatever range and register you're about to start a song in. So let's say you're about to sing something in head voice, you might then quickly go woo as the last thing that you do, just so that it's like you're set, you're already there. If you're about to sing really low, you're just getting yourself in that mode, so that you don't even have to think about it. So that would be, I guess, the fifth piece of the bare bones warm up. Okay, checking in with that question. So really head dominant, thin mix. So I would say my advice for you is exactly what I had to do with my mix, because I kind of default to a head dominant mix as well. Meh, 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 that kind of sound. What I would do is think about your mix as an extension of your chest voice. So what we're going for here is a chest dominant mix. Think of your mix not as this third thing that's totally different from chest voice or head voice. Think of it as like you've got chest voice and then you're kind of thinning out your chest voice. You're kind of letting it funnel into a chest dominant mix, or you're stretching your mix. You're stretching your chest voice into a chest dominant mix. For me, that was helpful because different singers also kind of approach and experience their mix differently. Some singers experience this thing we're talking about of a chest dominant mix, a head dominant mix. And then other singers kind of feel it more like I have my chest voice, I have my mix, and I have my head voice. So if you are that singer who's like, when I mix, it's head dominant, then don't think about your mix as a third thing. Think about more overlap, more like a Venn diagram, that you're coming from chest voice land, and how you're going to guide your voice into mix is through the vowel that you're using. So you might even try this. You might try an exercise. Let's say you're starting here if you're a low voice singer. Maybe here. So you might do the same exercise in more of like an obviously chest voice sound. Way, 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 way. Okay, then we would start even lower for a baritone. Let's go here. Way, 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 way. And then wah, 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 wah. So that's starting on E3, going to B3. So think I'm in pure chest voice land. Way, 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 way. And then what happens if I narrow the vowel a little bit? Wah, 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 wah. And as you climb higher, this is F going to C4. Way, 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 way. Wah, 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 wah. Hopefully, at some point it'll become obvious. I don't want you to take up the like heavy chest voice sound too high. I don't want you to hurt yourself or, get shouty and cracky. But hopefully somewhere in the middle here, that realization will start to appear that you can be coming from chest voice and kind of just stretching or thinning into a chest dominant mix, but still approaching it as coming from your chest voice, if that makes sense. That you're not stepping into mix, but you're just guiding into mix. Did we already do that one? I think so. Way, 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 way. That'd be just chest voice. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here, maybe you'll start to feel it and hear it. Way, 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 way. Whoa, 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 whoa. Way, 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 way. Whoa, 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 whoa. As you keep going, so F4 is the highest pitch here. Okay, and then you're saying, but I can't sing a G4 in chest dominant mix. I feel like it has to be in head dominant mix. That might be just where your voice is at right now. That might be. I don't think that there might not be anything wrong with that. So if you're singing, F sharp, then it sounds to me like G might just be the next like goal. That it's okay if that's not happening today. It does take time to stretch. You're doing a lot. You're in a tricky spot in your range. What I will say, maybe this is relevant to you and maybe it's not. Once you've made it to G4 in a chest dominant mix, the solution for you might be to start to widen out again. So let's say you've in a nice balanced way. Whoa, 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 whoa. You've made it to the F sharp, and then here it falls apart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. On that G4. The solution can be to actually let the vowel widen out again. So think maybe instead of just that up and down wah, maybe you're starting to move toward weh. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. So you could try all the way or kind of morphing into an as you ascend. But that is certainly the case for most voices, and this might be where you're at, is the vowel is too narrow. Hi, Elise. The vowel might be too narrow, and you have to let it widen again. The reason that we stay away from or caution against wide vowels going into your mix is because a wide vowel will usually just keep you in chest voice. You take chest voice up high enough and it gets heavy, shouty. But if you're telling me that, no, I've got my chest dominant mix to the F sharp, and then the G is where it's falling apart, then that might be something to try, is letting the vowel widen back out. That, I think, Elise could probably attest to that, and myself as well. And that's why a lot of teachers will talk about the passaggio, the passage from chest voice into head voice, as like a thinning and then a widening back out. So you've got like a wide base, you thin to not shout and crack and hurt yourself, and then you let the vowel widen again as the pitch gets higher. Okay, let's go back to we've done our bare bones exercise. If you have time for more of an in-depth self warm-up, then I have 7 steps that you could follow if you want. You can not do all of these, but step 1, easy semi-occluded. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Easy semi-occluded exercise. Number 2, grounding in your chest voice. Number 3, head voice for flexibility. Number 4, switching registers, so on purpose, jumping between chest voice and head voice. Number 5, mixing, so that our goal would be blending registers instead of switching. Number 6, agility. And number 7, a cool down. So we've only added 3 things, right? Because we started with the bare bones, semi-closed, head voice or falsetto, mix, full range agility. Here, what we've added specifically chest voice exercise, specifically switching register exercise, and then a cool down at the end. So I'll kind of focus in on those spots that are new, because we've already done the easy SOVT. You have multiple options. Choose the one that's easiest for you. We're starting medium range, going low, going high. So then chest voice, kind of getting grounded in our speaking voice. This is especially important for singers who are uncomfortable singing in their chest voice, who kind of default to head voice when they're singing. And it's important if you're about to do some belting. If you're about to sing an Adele song, you should probably do some singing in your chest voice. So I would choose words or phrases that are easy for you to call out or, speak, sing. And the general range for that would be into, again, because we don't have a piano that's guiding us. You want to get to that point where it's feeling a little bit risky, a little bit on edge, maybe. Because if all you do in your chest voice, if you're about to belt, if all you do is just super easy, ma 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 ba 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 ba, and then you call it a day, that might not prepare you for, these pitches. So feel it out. Let's say, I'm trying to think of some calling out exercises. I mean, we like to do the no, 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 or hey there, or way, oh, way, things like that. And you're taking it up in your voice to where you feel like, okay, this is getting a little bit risky. Way, 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 hey there, hey there, hey there, hey there. I'm feeling like activated energy rising. Hey there. Do I need to keep going higher than that? It depends on the song I'm about to sing. So I was somewhere around an A, B flat. If the song I'm about to sing requires me to sing higher than that with a lot of chest voice sound, then maybe I'll continue. But if not, again, I'll follow my body's cue and go back down. Sheila's saying, so if you're an alto, would I start to switch to head voice around G4? Sometimes it's not too easy to switch what to do. So Sheila, in general, alto or mezzo or soprano, it depends on the song you're singing, right? But typically what we would like is A flat, A, B flat, that to be the area in which you're starting to mix. And actually G4, that you're safe to still be in just chest voice there. That would be the top. And maybe for an alto, you're going to start switching more around G, A flat. But that would be our goal, that we're still in chest voice on E4. Hey, 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 that we're still chest voicey there. And then A flat A, that be the start, or that be our transition in mix. But not necessarily to head voice, unless the song that you're about to sing is going to be head voicey on those pitches. So we did chest voice, SOVT, chest voice, head voice. Remember, we kind of like the falling off, wee, 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 kind of frisbee-like feel for those exercises. Think narrow vowels, ooh, or e. If you tend to kind of tense up or pull up a lot of weight, you might do top-down patterns, wee, 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 wee. And again, until you feel yourself lock up or squeeze, just keep going. This is actually the beauty of warming yourself up without a video or without a piano, is that sometimes you'll surprise yourself. You'll go higher than you normally would, or lower than you normally would, because you don't have that pressure and that measuring stick. So that's nice. Okay, chest voice, head voice. Okay, switching registers. This is the other new one, because we did some mixy blendy things. But if you're new to singing, and if you're just working on developing your chest voice and your head voice, then it can be really helpful to give yourself a chance to say, I'm in chest voice here, I'm in head voice here. Hey, ooh, hey, hey, ooh, hey. And again, you're walking up, hey, ooh, hey, until you feel that top note start to, lock up or not feel good. And then you bring it back down. Mixing or blending, we already covered that a little bit. Agility, we already covered that. And last would be the last new thing in our kind of more complete warm up would be a cool down. So instead of getting more intense and higher, your cool down brings you ooh, 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 Your cool down brings you back down in pitch, and again ends maybe in your speaking voice range. So my question for you, as we're nearing the end of our hour together, do you feel like you have the tools to warm yourself up? Do you feel like if you were not warmed up and then you had to sing in like 10 minutes, could you get yourself to a point where you could warm yourself up? I've been kind of repeating myself a lot because I think it's important. Okay, good. Wonderful. You start easy and medium range and you expand out from there. When you hit a point in your voice where you're feeling like it's forcing it to continue, stop, turn around, and go back in the other direction. If you have a specific pitch you need to sing in a song, make sure that your warm-up goes to that pitch, ideally goes past that pitch. So if, for example, just song that popped into my head, I think Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys is in the key of G, and this girl is on fire. So if you know that a B4 is something you're going to have to sing and sing a lot, that's where you're going to pull out your phone, you're going to play the B4 and make sure that your warm-up goes up to it and ideally past it so it doesn't feel like a ceiling. And then if you are about to start a song a certain way, end your warm-up in that way. So if your song starts really breathy, airy, head voicey, whatever, just give yourself a little, woo, okay, there I am, and I'm ready to start the song. Often, if you have a mic, you have the luxury of doing that off mic. You can just hum to yourself off mic. You can even get your pitch. This is a great idea. get your starting pitch for your song, play it on your phone, sing it off stage, have it in your head, and you can even sing it again. Now I'm trying to think of how Girl on Fire starts. Okay, so you might get that pitch. At least so you're there, your vocal folds are ready to sing it, and it doesn't feel random. Okay, Gary, when I go top down and I start with head voice at A4, and work my way down to E3, I'm still in head voice. When I know I can sing E3 in chest or mix. Any suggestions? Yes. So Gary, I would go slower so you have a chance to let's say you're doing, ooh, and you're still in head voice, but you don't want to be. Go slower. Don't do sliding exercises at the start. So maybe goo, 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 goo. So I have space between those pitches. It's easier for my voice to find chest voice again when there's a break. If I just have a slide, ooh, it's easier for my voice to remain in the mode that it was in on the top. So go slow, break up those pitches, give yourself a consonant to sing. So instead of just a vowel, ooh, 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 goo, 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 that gives your voice kind of something to grab onto, so to speak. Another thing that you can try is using a vowel or a syllable that makes it easier for you to find chest voice or mix. So let's say, na, 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 or even morphing, let's say, no, no, na, na. Land on something that you know will help you find chest voice. So think a wider vowel, a consonant, you got it. Sheila, thank you. Rashita, for cool down, can we do humming? Absolutely. And breathing exercises? Absolutely. Perfect. I think the kind of what to keep in mind for a cool down is instead of getting higher, you're getting lower, you're getting back into your speaking voice range. And for sure, always a good idea to return to your breath, and to stretch out, because even in a little warm up, maybe you get a little bit tense, maybe your neck gets tight. So thank you for bringing that up. That's a wonderful idea to, re-stretch out, roll out the shoulders, stretch out your neck, stretch out your jaw, your tongue. Always a good plan to kind of reset. Okay, great. Well, I think I don't have any more for you in warm up land. We have a couple more minutes if you have another question. Okay. God's Will was saying sometimes I warm up and then after about 30 minutes without singing, it wears off and I sound like I just woke up again. So this would be a good time to quickly revisit with that SOVT and re-stretch out. Not that you have to do a full warm-up again, but that if you're about to sing again, not even playing pitches, but just get your voice stretching again. And kind of in like at rest, or if we're just speaking, our vocal folds are shorter, they're thicker, they're relaxed. And when we're about to sing, we're requiring those vocal folds to stretch out, to thin out. So that's where I would go for you. If it feels like you have to re-warm up your voice, I don't think you need to spend another 10 minutes if it was just 30 minutes ago, but maybe 2 minutes of just the SOVT stretching out. When's the perfect moment to warm up before a show? Just before, hours or minutes before? Ooh, Elise, I would say close to the time. Like ideal, I would say, giving yourself, you warm up and then maybe you have 15 minutes of just rest before the show. That's what would work for me. And I think something to be mindful of is that there should be a difference between like a warm up to perform and a warm up within more like a voice lesson context where you're working your voice as well, like a warm up exercise time. Um, you don't want to tire yourself out before a performance. So it's like you want to stretch out, you want to activate the, you know, muscles and, vowel modifications, like kind of get that muscle. Hello. I came back basically just to say goodbye. But thank you so much for being here. I will see you all next, I believe, Wednesday. And do I remember what we're teaching on? Let's see. Next Wednesday, is all on vowel modification, which will be very fun. I will have song examples, I will have exercises. Um, so, Wednesday, the 26th, uh, you need vowel modification, and here's how to do it. That's my tagline for that lesson. So again, thank you for being here. I hope you found this helpful. And I think it's on the calendar for 5 p.m. Pacific right now. I may need to change that, but if I do change it, it'll be changed days in advance, so you'll have notice. Um, family coming into town will might change that timing. But I will see you then, hopefully. And thanks again. Bye.